Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to join with Hallie with her movie Sourdough. Let's take a look at the clip.
Love that. I think I really want like a hunk of these for those jagged edges. You guys want a hunk?
I'm getting full.
I myself have suggested marks.
Ugh, wow, that looks really good. Yeah.
So Marks as in M-A-R-K-S?
No, we are not naming our child
No,
Marks.
no. First of all,
Everyone
it's
should try
marks
that.
as in M-A-R-X.
Really
Let's
good.
clarify.
Love it. Carl's king.
Why would we name our kid after a white man?
So true. White man.
You guys have to try it. I'm giving everyone a hunk.
I'm okay.
You know, I saw a meme the other day.
Hallie, welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. Thank you for bringing Sourdough. I really loved your film, but it was so great to see a film on the big screen, especially.
So fun to see it with an audience. It's like you can't beat it.
Yeah, like it's what we did it for, right?
I know, right? Yeah.
I really loved the conversation that we had at the film festival yesterday, but we're going to go into, for those that haven't seen Sourdough, tell us about the film.
Great. Okay. So the film, it takes place at a couple's dinner, and the host is making a beautiful loaf of sourdough bread to serve for the dinner. And just as the couple, who's the guest, announces that they're having a baby, the loaf of bread comes out of the oven looking like trash. It's not good. It's flat, it's hard, it's bad. And it sends my character, Claire, into this kind of spiral of defeat, exploring the ideas of, wanting to have kids or maybe not wanting to have kids, how we react to our friends when they get something that we wish that we had, and exploring just that difficult decision of when or whether to have children, and in that kind of fun, hopefully funny lens.
It was a brilliant film to watch. I always love a film around this sort of like dinner setting, but just kind of seeing how these, character arcs and developments and how something can just slightly change something. In this case, Sourdough really did make things really sour, right?
It really did. I'm glad that you caught that.
Yes.
Because I was like, I hope people get that there is like, it's, a lot of film titles have like such a double entendre. I was like, there's a little one in there. So I appreciate that you found that.
I was analyzing it, and not to mention the whole bread and just the whole kneading of bread and life and just, there's so much in there.
The bread is the metaphor.
The bread is the metaphor.
The bread is the baby.
The baby, exactly. Yeah. And I felt so sorry for your character. I was like, nobody wants to have bad bread. But then I think the whole context behind what you obviously were in front and behind camera, what your character was going through was really hard to watch because, you just really felt for her. How was this experience? Because firstly, the four of you were just phenomenal together, like just all working together, all gave such, all had such very distinctive kind of characters and gave so much to it. What was the experience like and where did this kind of inspiration kind of begin in making this particular film?
Yeah. So at the time when I was writing it, I was thinking a lot about wanting to have a kid, but feeling really like not ready, or just feeling like I hadn't achieved what I wanted in my life, quote unquote achieved.
Right,
didn't feel like I, when you're young, or at least for me, I thought like, okay, I'm going to get married at 24.
Yeah.
I'm going to have kids at 28, which is like, just like as a child, you're like, that's the number.
Yeah. And what society has kind of put out there.
Right.
For us to,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, obviously that's not the reality.
Yeah.
We live in a society now where women can have very full lives outside of having kids.
Yes.
We have professional aspirations. We have friendships. We have relationships. We have like these full lives. And so I was really wrestling with that question. And I just think for many people, especially creatives, the decision of when or whether to have kids is very difficult.
Yeah.
And so the film, actually, when I was writing it, it started with I was like, I want to make a film. I'm going to shoot it in my apartment because that's what I can afford. I was making a lot of bread at the time. The first time I made it failed. And whenever
you're literally making bread.
Literally, I'm making bread at the time. I'm inspired by, I love to cook, and like when something goes bad, I cannot let it go.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's something there. There's like tension here. It's like, it's kind of funny and dramatic. And then as I sat down to write, and like the best writing experiences, it just kind of turned into this. It turned into something else, and
Yeah.
and the metaphor started to arise, and I was like, wait, this actually makes perfect sense, and it's really resonating for me.
Yeah.
And then it just felt very like kind of full circle. I felt like it was something I really wanted to say, and I was
Yeah.
hoping that people could relate to.
Yeah.
And yes.
I think, you know, the most amazing thing as well is I think also, you know, there's this sort of unexpected sort of peer pressure when you put yourself amongst, like, I don't know, sort of friends of your age group, age range that come out and bring this thing. And also there's quite a sensitivity between it because, you know, you never know what the other person's going through, if it's the right time for them, if it's money, if it's even if they have the ability to have a child, all those different dynamics that came into it. What I loved about your film is it was a great actor's performance. Like everybody just had, you know, such a contribution. But I think also there was, you know, in the writing and the acting, there was a lot of subtext to what was going on. You know, you let us all kind of delve into especially your characters' kind of subtext. How is it for you, you know, from the director standpoint and also performance, how was that dynamic for you? How was that experience?
Doing both?
Yes.
Yeah. So what was interesting, so we shot this in a single day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Like 1 12-hour day, yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's incredible.
Therefore, my role as a director, like I have a co-director, which I felt was important. You know, this is my first film, and also I knew that I was going to be on screen the entire time, and that the acting would require quite a bit from me, or I just needed to be locked into that. So it was important for me to have someone who was able to watch. We didn't have the time for me to watch playback, you know, and stuff. So having a partner was like really important. My co-director Alec Cohen did a wonderful job of on the day, like making sure we set up the shot correctly and all of that. And he also, you know, we did a lot in the pro planning stages. So we, you know, making sure that we were only getting coverage of what we needed. Like we knew, okay, the big like, I guess filmmaking decision was we had that long Zoom, which I think is the clip we show. And so we knew, like, for that, it's just going to be on me. So we don't need to get the other actors because it's just going to be on me. So I think that as a director, my contributions were really a part of making the decisions before. I was really active in post. You know, that's when I watched all the coverage and chose the shots I wanted to. And we had a wonderful director, Dominic Canero, who just editor who did an amazing job. And then on the day, I was available to work with the actors, but I was lucky that, and I did this on purpose, but, you know, I cast these are friends, people I know from the New York comedy scene who I knew were right for it, who I knew would bring what was necessary, who I knew could play the comedy, could improvise. You know, we would always kind of go long on takes so that we get that like fresh improv, and a lot of that is in the final product. But who could also like really go there, just like really wonderful actors. And I really think a big part of directing is casting the right people.
Absolutely.
Because then it makes especially as I knew I'd be acting in the piece, I was like, you know, I just want to be able to play with them. Yeah. And kind of guide it through. We also had rehearsals, or we had one rehearsal, which helped just to get the chemistry going and make sure I hope that answers the question.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think you all had such a wonderful like chemistry together. I mean, you know, I think you underestimate how difficult it is sometimes to do a dinner scene together. Yeah. You know, like the kind of flow, the conversation, you know, all the intermix and you know, your fifth character was sourdough bread. Yeah. So, you know, like we had that.
And we had like 4 on lock, like ready to go in.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I was baking bread all week. And I really had to learn how to bake bad bread.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's to bake badly.
It's bad because like, you know, I'm not to brag, but my sourdough actually looks pretty good. Yeah. But it was like, I had to like experiment with how to make it bread. And then I got it. And then I made 4 loaves of bad bread so that we had them.
Okay. Yeah. So, but that's hard. It was hard. So you had to get into character to make bad bread, basically. Yeah. There you go. You know what? So, you know, we said this last night. I said, it's kind of amazing. Firstly, sourdough in the last few years just became the number one bread. Like it just became like it's like the bread of America now. Like it's insane. Like, you know, but it wasn't like that a few years ago.
No,
it's like
I think it's like, I mean, the artisan craze, I think helped with that. And definitely during COVID, I mean, my character states very proudly during the movie that she did not get into sourdough during COVID.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have joined that. No, it's like it came to me naturally. I really wanted to do it, which is actually true to life. Where everyone would always be like, "Oh my god, I know you made sourdough. Did you start during COVID?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't. I started after it."
Totally. I love that part as well. You know, for you personally, like, I mean, I think this is again, I think there was, you know, it's got a lot of comedic moments, but it's also a really kind of underline there of some real truth there that, you know, and I really felt quite deeply for what, you know, your character's going through, just because like society and pressure and all those different things that come with it. And you say, obviously, being a creative on top of that, it kind of adds another dynamic. What did you kind of want your audience to take from your filming experience?
Well, I think, as you said, I think the first part is that I obviously wanted to make them laugh. Like, being a comedian is a big part of my, I don't know, artistic identity. Yeah. And so that was important to me. But I also, you know, I think it's important that our films, it's important that art communicates something. That's the stuff that I respond to most. And I mean, art for art's sake, of course, but also like, why are you doing it? So I think I hoped to speak. I hoped that people could relate to it. I hope that people who, even if you have children, you may have gone through that experience of thinking about, you know, what does it require of me to give up this part of myself? Or not give up, or give up my time is really what it is. It's not really giving up your part of yourself, because you do get something back. And I also wanted them to think about the more universally how we react to our friends when they get something that we wish we could have. You captured that so brilliantly. I just think that that's kind of a universal, like, it doesn't have to be having kids, it could be anything. They got a great job, they got, you know, in the you know, acting world, when people get a job and you feel like, you know, you feel so happy for them, and there's always a thing where it's like, God, I wish I had that job, you know? And I think it takes time. As I've gotten older, I've been able to process those feelings better. And then I think you do reach a point where you go, we can have it all. And I actually want to express that I really do believe that you can have a full creative life and have children. Like, I really think you can do that. And I plan to do it. I think it's possible. And so I don't want anyone to walk away going, it's this or that. No, not at all. It's not that. It's just that the feelings are complicated around it. And you captured all those dynamics really, really well. But like, can please someone love my sourdough bread? Like, that's like, I'm such an annoying empath where I'm like, I would have been like, put my thing on hold and like, we love your bread. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, forget everything else. Like, do you want a hug? We love your bread. You know, that's like, so funny. But just, you know, you really captured all that, and there was no right or wrong way. And I think you just, you know, you gave each other's reactions like really well to this circumstances. It was great. Okay, so obviously comedy is one thing, and obviously you've been directing, you wrote, you know, you co-directed, you wrote, and then you've been in front of camera. Where are you taking us next? I want to make another short. Yes. I have one I've written that I'm excited to do as the kind of the next step, and I want to direct that by myself. Good. I think, you know, this experience has been so rewarding. It's been, as an actor, a lot of times as an actor, you get used to performing other people's work. Sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not. And I feel like I've always had I have a very strong sense of taste. Like, I'll be like, I really something like, do not like this. I like this. Like, I really feel strongly what I like and what I don't. And so, writing something that you like, directing something so that when you watch it back, being able to sit there and make decisions about that are based on your taste and what works for you was so empowering and like the most exciting creative experience of my life. Basically, it was really awesome. So I definitely want to keep making things. You know, I'm keep writing. I've, you know, features that are kind of in the works, and basically just keep finding ways. Obviously, I love performing. That's like that's my roots. You know, that's where I come from, and being on stage and being on screen is like, come on, it's the best. It's so fun. But I think I'm really excited about having a well-rounded career that includes writing, includes directing, includes like making work that really speaks to me, and kind of we'll see what happens.
No, that's great. I love that you're saying about making work that speaks to you, because that's the only way it really should be in order for you to get the best out of it. But I love sourdough.
Thank you.
Please bring more to us. We're looking forward to your exclusive directorial debut that you do, and but whatever you bring to us, welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for sourdough.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Hallie, everybody.